And this becomes the larger problem in this marketplace, is that almost all mints are going underwater consistently through. And because of that, you're seeing immediate loss of value, right? Look at Genkai. Genkai is an immediate loss of value of roughly 20% per holder, right? At least on the ETH side. On the Ronin side, I actually believe it's surprisingly on the Axie side, it's almost break even, which is kind of interesting, right? Ether, right? Down a lot. Ether's down to a 0.08 ETH floor. If you consider the average cost basis is down, was 0.35 ETH after the airdrop. Again, you're looking at the fact that it's 0.27 ETH down. That's down 75, 80%, right? Like, it's about 79%. And that's just unfortunately pure extraction at the moment right now if there's not an ability to get back. I still think there's opportunities for Genkai. I think there's still opportunity for Ether. I think there's still opportunity for all these projects. But if the consistent trend right now is everything mints and everything goes underwater, right, we're kind of dead, right? And that's what we're essentially feeling at the moment right now. Everything is doing that. So, we have a few other smaller mints that are happening. There's the Haas mint here coming up, right? The Haas Renga mint, which is a collaboration between an F1 racing team and the Renga team. At least they're not massively extracting, right? That's about only 88 ETH coming out of that here. So that's a little bit better. Thankfully, garbage bags are still above floor price, right? I mean, after they're cut. So again, didn't massively extract there. But, everything else is kind of crazy that the best winner in this market right now is grapes. Bro, like grapes is right now the best winner in this market with their market making skills and their token, right? Everything else is in a very tough position. So the two things you want to take away from this market is one, no single mint is going to save the market. All of this market is going to do, all these mints are going to do, all they're going to do is try to save themselves, right? What we're hoping is that, hey, we have a couple mints coming up or a couple big events. August 8th or 9th will be DeGod Season 3. Beyond that, there is the targeted mint of Yoga Pets at the end of August. I think Yoga Pets will struggle to sustain their floor price, right? And this is kind of the crazy thing here is that everyone doesn't recognize that in this market, the project is just trying to save itself. So I'm hoping Yoga Pets can sustain. They have a token tied to it. But again, the biggest thing we're learning is these guys are doing all too large supplies. The number one thing we should learn in this market is 10,000 is the dumbest number you can choose. You must, the new 10,000 is 1,000, right? Like that's really the honest answer. I generally recommend projects to stay under 3K. 2K is a better sweet spot. But essentially what you're recognizing here in this market is that no one understands how to restructure supply. Right? We had Genkai do a 20,000 mint or 21,000 mint now, which is just baffling, right? We had, Ether initially was trying at 8,888 and then cut down to 5,555. Again, it just doesn't work. And yeah, Saita says it exactly right. 90% less participants than a bull, so shouldn't everything be 90% less supply in a bear? Absolutely. But you don't even have founders who could make that basic connection, right? And that's kind of the brutal thing about this market is that they can't connect these things here as well. They're essentially following this awful path, right, of trying to get max liquidity. Because the problem, right, that everyone is running into is they're treating the mint as their funds. It's their seed round, right? So if they are treating it as a seed round, the only way they could actually get to their volume is do mass supply because they know they can't charge more than 0.1 on the floor price, right? On the mint price. So what ends up happening then is the only way to make up funds is on volume. And that's when you get these awful supply structures of 5,000, 10,000, and 20,000. I mean, again, just like, come on. I love you, CyberKongs, but 20,000, get the fuck out of here, right? They don't care about you. They assume that their product experience was going to scale beyond that. And unfortunately, it didn't. So when we look to ETH, what we're worried about here is that even if you believe that, in the value of Yoga Pets is going to have one major struggle. Can they sustain that floor price across a 10,000 supply, which is what I believe it still is at? If I'm wrong, please let me know in the chat. But from what I understand, it's a 10K supply still. And yes, they have a token, but look, do you guys realize that the best successful project right now that we're talking about this week is Grapes? And Grapes was literally 15 minutes away from being dead forever, right? Literally forever, right? They were so close. That thing was not minting out. That thing was going to be stuck. No one was going to talk about it again if they didn't make a cut. And they had to make a live cut, and boom, like, thank goodness, right? They survived, right? And barely got out of it. And they were trying a 555 supply. And again, I straight up told them, like, hey, I know you guys think 5,555 is less than 10K. That is true, but you'll probably need to cut even more. And they're like, okay, we'll get ready for it, right? And thankfully, they were listening to that, right? They weren't willing to do it out the gates, but in a weird way, it ended up still working with them, live on this front. So it's crazy that we're all looking at Grace being a success, and like they were literally 15 minutes away from death, like fully being forgotten. And that's how razor thin this market is, right? This is the double edge that we're playing at with, right? Depending on which side you fall on, it could be instant death or it could potentially be success. And this is what you need to understand if you're going to be a really strong founder in this market is, can you actually understand how to navigate your mint mechanics to be able to be on the right side of that edge? And if you're not, it's instant death. So we'll see how Yoga Pets, like I give Yoga Pets a little bit more credibility because A, it's an ecosystem that they've been building for a long time. B, it's hard to fade Kyungs. And C, they are playing with the meta with Prana. And as Saita noted, they've been hinting at like early listings on Binance and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see what that actually means and whether or not it's realized. But again, the challenge is can any token work in this market? Because what ends up happening is people buy the news on the token, but as soon as token comes, right, boom, you're going to be able to essentially see this thing go underwater here as well. And you just see people sell that. And, Meme Land's going to try countering this. It's going to be very interesting on how Meme Land's going to try creating a vesting unlock of tokens within the NFTs. It's technically right in theory, but it's only right in theory in a bull. In a bear, right, in a scenario where there isn't enough buying power or there's not enough confidence in it, he tanks the entire value of the ecosystem, right, which is really, really tough, right, which is important to understand. So we're in this really tough position as a market on ETH because I think there's two things I need to shake out of you guys. No single mint saves this market. We're beyond that. This market conditions are so bad that mints are only focusing on saving themselves, right? This shit is not going to work in that way, and you have to remove that framework here as well in your design. The second thing you're going to realize is most of these founders are still doing the wrong supply for this market. Nothing saves this market. Like, to be very honest, no single event saves this market. That's what most people don't understand. This market is straight up dead, right? There's no going to be a singular event. People still don't even understand why the last bull market happened. The last bull didn't happen because there was good projects or anything. No, there was a nice stimmy injection from the U.S. government during COVID era, and we were all in lockdown where there was a bunch of attention willing to go to these projects. And really what you did is that, yeah, you get massive liquidity, enter bored people, boom, make a market run. Do you think any of these, like, do you guys realize how dumb some of your mints were back then? Like, do you ever go back through your transaction history and realize, oh yeah, remember when I paid 5,000 in gas for an other side? Yeah, I remember that. Kill me, right? Like, kill me now, right? That's literally what it kind of comes out to here as well. And this is kind of where a lot of people don't realize is that all of these things are not going to be a recipe that happens again, right? The first bull era will not be relived again. It doesn't mean that the market share of NFTs doesn't go up. I still believe NFTs have value, right? But what you have to understand, the market share will be distributed across more assets rather than seeing high value in singular assets, right? There's no other way that this real system is going to work. So you have to recognize you have to make smarter bets now, right? And this is how every market matures. Like one of the things that I used to do when I was younger, I was a online poker player. I was a very successful online poker player, not because I was good, it was because everyone else sucked. It was a bunch of fish in the market. All these guys got super excited about online poker because ESPN started showing it. And then I was able to crush these guys because they had no clue what they were doing, especially at the lower stakes. I was just making more and more money. But of course, then education started coming in and that knowledge gap started to, dwindle. And what effectively happened was it was much harder to beat the games at a consistent rate because the market got smarter. It's the same thing that's going to happen here. The market's gotten smarter. We're not falling for dumb overpriced mints anymore, right? We're not falling for really overpriced, oversupply based projects anymore. What you're realizing here is that in this design and in this structure, right, our market has broken apart where we're now seeing like a wave one that was the golden age of NFTs. We will never relive that golden age again. Like that's my honest opinion. Right? We will, and what I mean by golden age is the idea that anything that goes out there, you're not going to see 100 ETH assets again for large supply. I don't even think you're going to see 50 ETH assets. To be honest, I don't even think we're going to see 20 ETH assets for larger supplies, right? I don't think that's really possible anymore, right? I think what we're going to be looking at, right, is healthy projects that are going to be between 5 to 10 ETH. That's the real play, right? Maybe the only time you'll see 50 ETH is, if ETH completely crumbles, right? Like ETH would have to completely crumble for us to see those prices. But I actually believe ETH will maintain its health generally. I mean, of course, it'll have its highs and lows and fluctuations. But there's no reason, because let's be really honest. How dumb were we that we were valuing Cool Cats at $60,000 at one point, right? For a JPEG image? Like, we don't deserve this shit, right? And I want you guys to recognize that because that will help you change your portfolio theory here as well. And that's the thing you have to recognize is that your portfolio theory shouldn't be how do I find as many pump-based opportunities that can go from 0 to 20 ETH. That's not really it, right? What you're doing at the moment right now is you should be looking at what are the right long-term projects that I believe that can move from 0.2 to 0.8 ETH, right? Those kind of wins, those kind of opportunities is right now the better play. Right. And you're going to see that, especially in this market, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities that come out. And what you're going to realize is just there's so many bad actors that we've extracted too much. And the expectation for new liquidity to organically come in to the worst user experience known to like mankind of new technology is so unlikely. Right? Like it's so unlikely for this to organically bring in new users and new spenders with new capital that want to play this totally different casino game at insane numbers. Because remember, almost everyone new that's coming in did not get rich right, on the last run of tokens or the last run of the primary coins or altcoins. Almost everyone coming in is probably got burned, right? Because they probably invested at the top, right? There's a lot of you guys who may have put in at 3,500 at ETH, and you're now sitting at 2,000, or and it was really brutal when it was around 1,000. So this is kind of what you're going to realize here, is that this market doesn't really ever come back in this manner and this design. And this is the thing that's hard for most people to realize, because you're all in the FOMO and you're all in this like thirsty nature of like, oh, I want profits, I want profits, I want profits, right? And this is kind of the element, is that you're going to really, really think about, this kind of design on this front. So you have to just recognize where the market's going and where the opportunity is going here as well, right? With all of these assets, right? The better asset to hold is right now ETH and BTC than most NFTs at this point, right? That is still the smarter opportunity at this front. But in the end, what you're going to realize is that you're not going to see a concentration of value happen again to consumer NFTs like we saw in the first wave, right? What we are going to see is that currently the value assets of NFTs are, I don't know, if you see the new numbers, probably between 50 to 100 billion, which is already an insane number. Do you guys realize the market cap relationship of like ETH NFTs to ETH's market cap is bananas? It doesn't even make sense, right? But it is a technical infrastructure. It doesn't mean that's the only way to value it as well, right? Like Oz's technology is worth X, right? Like Amazon Web Services, cloud technology is worth X. But the amount of companies that are building on top of Amazon Web Services is worth way more, right? Worth way, way over that, worth Y. So that's kind of an interesting thing to keep ahead of. So what am I really looking at? I'm looking for the next wave to be more wider funnel, but shallower in value, right? I think it's going to be more of an opportunity. How do you get 50,000 people to value a $500 asset, right? 0.25 ETH. And it's kind of funny because we also take this shit for granted, and like, we're in the diamonds chat, and there's a lot of times that we get like a few allocations that, to be very honest, are super low value. We just offer them to diamond just in case they work out, and a couple have worked out. Like we have these like things called Noza crystals that hit like a 0.5 ETH randomly, and there's a few others that kind of come in, but 8 times out of 10 they're kind of like honestly neutral or trash. But it's funny, we call them trash, but there's times where the mint, you can mint it for like it's a free mint for $5, and you could technically flip it for $20 or $30. And to be honest, it's not worth the time for most people, right? And I don't blame them. It's not. But do you know how many Web2 consumers would love that? Like, would love that, and they would absolutely want that kind of opportunity. They would all want it. So that's the thing that we have to realize, is that if we play at the right numbers and the right opportunities, there's actually a huge ability to onboard the masses. It's just that we focused on the wrong thing. We focused on just whale outliers, right? Because what are we all chasing? We're all chasing a lotto ticket, right? Right? And this is what we want, is like, oh, I want to get the next Spirit Ether, right? I mean, even like a few guys hit little mini lotto tickets here, right? Like, Shin, congrats to him, minted 0.039 ETH, right? Which is what, $80? That's still a lot for most Web2 consumers. And, he turned that $80 to a legendary grape that he sold for 6.969 ETH, right? Which was roughly like $14,000, $13,000, right? The dude turned $80 to $13,000. Bro, do you know, like, have you ever watched those game shows, right? Like, in the US, we have, Price is Right, Jeopardy, etc. Like, Shin's here. Awesome, Shin. But you know how insane people go for winning $10,000 on those shows? They lose their minds, right? They absolutely lose their minds, right, on this front here as well, right? Which is kind of crazy. So this is kind of where you have to realize, is that we've just been playing this wrong game on this front. And we really get in this stupid hype cycle that we need to make 10,000 per mint, right? And when we're focusing on that, right, it's not going to actually allow this market to really scale. So I do think the NFT market gets way larger, but it's getting larger by width, not depth, right? And I think that's kind of the important thing, right? It's breadth, not depth here at this point. And that's how you all probably need to start looking at the ETH market as well. So outside of that, what are the only other things that I'm kind of paying attention for ETH at the moment right now? Well, as I mentioned, one is like we want to see what happens with the gods on August 9th, right? I think it's a week or two, 8 days away from today. Curious to see how that plays out. Curious to see what they're doing. Supposedly, right, I think they're unlocking the goddesses. So I believe it's actually a larger supply in the dilution, but I'm not actually following all the details. So we should keep an eye out on that. We have meme. A lot of captains holders believe it's coming this month, which would be interesting. I don't think it will. If I were them, I'd be doing it in September, but we'll see. So we want to know what meme token's going to do. We still want to keep an eye on whenever Blur Season 2 will ever decide to end. Who knows? I'm not even sure when Blur Season 2 is going to end here at this point, but something that we want to keep an eye out as well. And then, of course, at the end of this month, we're going to have a new mint that's going to try a very large mint in Allo, right? Supply in Yoga Pets. That's what I'm keeping an eye out on in this month, and we want to see what they do. I think DeGod should do well, man, because if DeGod doesn't do well, oh man, hold on to your hats. We are gonna take a massive leg down, right? Not gonna be fun at all. So this is kind of where I hope they get it right. And Frank seems to be one of the more competent individuals in this space, and I feel he's pretty aware, but we'll see. Right? I mean, it's hard to hold trust in any founders at this point, right? I understand that. That's why I try to work like 10x harder than every founder to keep constantly earning your trust. Because to be honest, I wouldn't even trust me, right? Not because I think I'm doing anything incorrect. It's just I don't know why you'd trust any founder in this space, right? None of us have treated you well yet, right? We're trying. We're trying to do these ratios. It's great to see guys like Shin, and there's tons of you guys who've made multiple ETH off us and only have paid $20 or $40 to our ecosystem. That's amazing. We want to continue to do that, but we want to make sure all of you could have those wins. Diamonds are getting wins. Jungle will be a nice win. Hopefully, Weebox will be a nice win. We got ZTX coming. I did talk to it. So let me talk about that before I jump to ordinals here for the last 20 minutes here as well. There's some interesting, cool stuff happening there. So ZTX did tell me they are still minting, but they have moved to Arbitrum, which I think is very bearish. And I told them that directly. They are still minting at $100 fiat price point, right? Roughly. So that means like 0.055 ETH is the mint, is what they're currently targeting. I told them not to do that. I told them to make it a free mint. And they said they'll think about it, but I don't know if they'll actually do it. And then it's a 4,000 supply. 2,000 of the supply is going to be via a pre-sale. So they're doing a pre-sale that starts next week on Monday. So it's going to go from like August 7th to August 25th. And all of the different communities out there will have their own pre-sale window. So we'll have our own pre-sale window. They're using a service called Helio. And then we have to decide if it's worth minting. I don't think it's a great idea. I told them very directly, doing a pre-sale that lasts that long and trying to get people to convert, and then you're going to airdrop them at the end of the month is not a good idea. I told my girlfriend that, Karma, directly, right? And it's not a good design. It's actually a really bad design. And then what they're doing is that, so 2,000 supply goes to these pre-sales, right? And then 2,000 supply is going to be like an over allocated mint on Arbitrum OpenSea, right? Which I don't even know if there's 2,000 people on Arbitrum that want to pay 0.055 ETH for a mint. Like, it just doesn't make sense across the board. But this is what they are doing, and I just wanted to pass that information to you guys on that front, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the village market here really quickly for those of you guys who have a soul. So I'm going to add it. And what I'm going to do really quickly, let me add Genesis as well, Season 1 Genesis, so you guys could all get in. Where's my Genesis? There it is. Huzzah. Cool. Okay, you guys should all be able to be in there now. I'll share my screen so you guys can see it. Oh, Village Market. And I'm gonna do a fair mint. So I have zero clue if ZTX is gonna take my feedback. I told them to make it free. I told them to not do it over this 3-week window that they're doing, and I told them to actually take it all the way back to ETH. I don't know if they're gonna listen to any of that. So if you are interested, I'm gonna make this shit a fair raffle because they want wallets from me right now. So we're gonna give you guys a shit ton of fair raffles here at the moment right now. I'll do like, I don't know. I think probably I have what? Here, hold on. I have to remember how much. Yeah, I think they give us 125. So let's go down to the rolls. We have ZTX at 13. So I have at least 15 to give right now. So we're gonna do that right now. So we're gonna do create raffle shop. Quantity 15. Actually, here, I'll do 10 now, and then I'll do 5 for the next event that we do. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll just give you all 15. Why not? And then false. Title is ZTX. And then this is Arbitrum now at the moment right now. So remember that it's Arbitrum. Paid mint at 0.055 E roughly, 4K supply, and exclusive pre-sale window. I'm trying to make this sound sexier than it is. We're gonna run this for 15 minutes here while we're here, and we'll see. Or we'll run this for 20 minutes here at the moment right now, and the role will be ZTX whitelist. And the price will be, I'll give it for 2 relics. So you got to choose whether or not it's even worth 2 relics if you win, right? Pretty fair price here if you want to win. Only enter if you think it's worth at least 2 relics for that optionality. It's a pure optionality play. I don't know if it's going to work. It's not insanely overpriced. They do have partnerships with like the Gods and Pudgy Penguins, right? Hold on, pre-sale. So partnerships with the Gods, Pudgy, Utes, I think Claynosaurs as well. Like there's a lot. I don't know. Is it? Whatever. So if you guys want, you can now go into this and enter this as well. It's live, only 2 relics. You get a little optionality here. I don't know if I'd mint this based off the information they presented, but for 2 relics, I'd consider the optionality here as well. So I'll let you guys have fun there. It'll take a little bit of time to get your all your numbers in. I'm sure you guys are slamming that here as well. Seems like a few of you at least want to consider it, which is kind of funny. So here you go. Have fun with this on this kind of design. They do have they also have a playable avatar, and there is a token. That's the other interesting thing about ZTX, right? I agree with Dr. Respects. The metaverse looks like any other metaverse. It's nothing crazy, but ZTX does have a parent company called Zepeto, right? And with Zepeto, they're worth like multi-billion dollars. They claim their MAU is huge. MAU is monthly active users. I think they claimed it was like 20 million, something like that. It was something ridiculous for Zepeto. And they raised, from SoftBank at a pretty large valuation. But this is like their ZTX, right, which is a sub entity. So the good thing is there is a token here for ZTX, but I hate that it's on ARB. I hate that it's a paid min. I hate that nobody knows about this min. And it sucks because I want my girlfriend to do well. I want Karma. She's not really my girlfriend. We just had a fun conversation last time when we were ours, so everyone teased me about it. I always want to make sure that people don't think that. And it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But in the end, I essentially decided to kind of keep that out here as well on this kind of design. So let's do this. Let's do. Oh yeah, here I'll give you the Twitter link for ZTX. Give me just a second. ZTX official. ZTX official. Here you go. That is their official ZTX. And like I said, it's got some cool stuff. They're even play testing their metaverse right now. So, I mean, again, it's a metaverse, right? Like, how many more metaverses do we need? I think like 50 more. So I'm not sure whether or not this works, but they are building, they are trying something. I don't think their strategy is good for this market. So you can have some fun with that in that kind of opportunity here too. So take a look at it, see where it is, and hopefully you guys will win. All right, let's shift gears and talk a little bit about ordinals. So with ordinals, right, what's interesting about ordinals now is that ordinals has run into a major problem where there's nothing interesting or exciting at this point, right? And this is a kind of important thing. Yeah, sorry, if you guys, that's a fair raffle. So if you don't win, you don't lose any relics. You only lose relics if you win. It's a fair raffle. It's a really cool system. So if you feel it's worth at least 2 relics, then enter it in. And if you don't win, don't worry, you lose no relics. That's pretty great. So yeah, let's talk about ordinals. So ordinals is running into a major problem where honestly, ordinals is super boring. I think the biggest problem that ordinals is running into is there's no interesting narrative around any of these projects here at the moment right now. And because of that, what you're going to see here as well is that this market is getting really, really boring, right? And because of that, you're going to see that as it continues to get boring, the volume is also going to slow down. There's essentially a very slow amount of volume coming into ordinals on 99.9% of projects. There's only one project that is even meaningful at the moment right now that is even valuable at this point, right? And because of that, what's really nice here is that there is an outlier, and that's OMB. And we're going to talk about them in just a little bit on how they're going to be valuable as well. So beyond that, let me just share my screen. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you the ordinal market here at the moment right now. And the best one, of course, to use is Magic Eden, unfortunately. It's pretty much the one that is getting most of the value here as well. So give me just a second, and I will screen share here as well. Huzzah. All right. So when we're looking at this, right, what I told you guys before is I'm usually looking at what is the winners or the volume for the last 24 hours. And what we're seeing is that we're seeing almost everything drop in the last week. Pretty much everything is down 10 to 30% across the board. BTC de Gods continue to stay under 1 ETH. Ordinal Maxi Biz is under, not ETH, under 1 BTC, sorry. OMB is under 0.2 BTC. Bitcoin Frogs has now gone under 0.02 BTC. And OCM Dimensions from On-Chain Monkey, way down. They're now down to 0.29 BTC, right? And this is kind of the hard part about this ecosystem is that most of these guys aren't able to really scale or bring excitement. And when we look at other projects which are even more brutal, Peepos is one of the worst performing assets now. It's now almost under 50% under mint price or 45% under mint price at the moment right now at 0.065. And there's 2 of them. But here's the reason why is that you're seeing a bunch of listings, but very few sales, right? Even hit as low as 0.05 BTC, right? Which is insane, right? That is almost 60% lower than mint price at the moment right now. And again, this minted only less than 2 weeks ago, right? Roughly. Yeah. So literally 2 weeks ago, this minted. Yeah. 2 weeks ago. Exactly. Wow. It was on that front. So 2 weeks down 60%. Brutal, right? Just absolutely brutal here as well. Ooh, Wild West Crypto's got a great breakdown here on the ordinal marketplaces. And this is actually good data to look at. Thanks for sharing that, Wild West Crypto. And what you're seeing is there's a ton of volume still overall in this market. There's still a decent amount of trades and there's still a decent amount of unique users. But as you can see, the chart is brutal. The chart is just not really showcasing any volume strength. What you're really seeing is that almost all the volume is in kind of a downward trajectory. It's not insanely downward, but it's definitely trending downwards as well when you're looking at the overall volume. Of course, we had this huge spike in early May, and ever since that, it's been really hard to sustain. But we're still seeing a lot of transactions, right? And that's mainly because there's now 20 million inscriptions. This is the bullish thing, is that there is still activity here. And there's some value here. But what you're seeing is almost no one is doing anything interesting on BTC. And because of that, it's slowing down quite a bit. Again, you can look at unique users per marketplace here at the moment right now. And it's again Unisat, Magic Eden here, and essentially Ordinal's wallet being the three biggest here at the moment. Pretty good breakdown here as well. But what you're also seeing is like the unique users by blockchain. It's 150,000, which is great to see at the moment right now when it comes to Bitcoin users. So these are good early data points to be excited about, right? But in the end, the question that begs is there anything sustainable? And really, the only thing that is interestingly sustainable at the moment right now is OMB. These are without a doubt the best outlier performers. They are still up 2x roughly from mint on the initial ones, and then the Genesis are still holding really high value. So let's look at the activity and see where most of these assets are going for at the moment right now. The good thing, again, you still see is a lot of people are buying above the floor. So a 0.23 BTC mint, a 0.249 BTC. I actually believe this is a diamond buyer here, actually. One of our diamond holders grabbed this one. So you're still seeing people willing to buy above floor, which is always a good sign for a collection. Really, you're not seeing that for really anything else right now in this space that has a floor around this. But the other thing you're also seeing as well is that there's still people who are buying their Genesis collections as well. So let's take a look to see if there's been any Genesis sales of blue eyes or red eyes in the last week. So there hasn't been any sales, at least broadcasted on Magic Eden. I'm curious to see if that's been the case on any other networks, but a lot of those tend to be OTC trades. Well, let's keep going further back to see when's the first blue eye or red eye sale. Wow, it's quite a bit further back. Come on. I think the last time we saw was 1.6 or so, but let's see if we could find it again. Here we go. Yep, 1.7 BTC. Right. So their Genesis collection, even if you were to crudely use this last sale from 15 days ago, what you're seeing here at the moment right now is 1.7 BTC. Guys, that's a huge number. That is roughly what, $50,000? Right? Nuts. That is a 25 ETH floor at the moment right now for their initial Genesis collection. Again, it is still very small supply, but that is incredibly powerful to see for an entire network. So if there's any reason why you want to stay bullish on ordinals, it's because of this collection on its own. Of course, it's not great that there's only one collection we're pointing to on this front, but again, it is still another reason why you want to take a contrarian approach if you believe in the opportunity for ordinals. Even though the market is generally slipping, OMB is the outlier. Yeah, this is where OCM is really struggling. Wow, it's 0.29. I'm just curious to see what the activity is on sales. Wow, the last sale was 0.29. Wow, couple sales under 0.29. So, I mean, again, this is still well above floor price. This minted at 0.08. Excuse me. And, sitting at 0.29. But it's just decaying back. And this is actually the problem that I think a lot of these projects are running into. I actually like Danny a lot. I like the OCM team a lot. But the only narrative that they're putting out is deeply technical, right? And the other problem that they're running into is that I don't think the art is good enough for a PFP. And this is what OCM has always historically struggled with as well. On the V1 side of this on ETH, right? Is that the art just isn't what you'd want for a top tier thing. And it's not because the art isn't good, it's because the art is optimized for being on chain art, right? So if you look at OCM's art, it's not really, let's go to the items real quick. It's not really great as a PFP. You'll have to zoom in. Not everyone has this, will use the same angle. They did this rotating thing to showcase the 3D asset of it. Cool, but actually it misses a lot of the PFP requirements, which is what really hurts it, right? And I think that's kind of the biggest problem here at the moment right now is that this design isn't really great. I know some people might not like the OMB art, the Ordinal Maxi Biz, but I ain't gonna lie, the OMB art, I actually do like some of them. I actually like the top 50% of the collection. I do dislike the bottom 50% of the collection. There's a lot of ugly ones out there, which is interesting. But I actually do like it. Like, I actually really like Bruno's. It gives me, like, I don't know. I mean, it's probably a stretch to say Basquiat, but it gives me a player here as well. And exactly as Bruno notes, right? Red Eye's minted at 0.1. That's 17x from mint. At that price point, that is nuts, right? A 0.1 mint, right, on BTC is roughly a 1.5 ETH mint, right, on ETH, right? And it's 17x from there. Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy, right? And I think this is what a lot of people don't understand is that they don't realize how outlier of a metrics OMB is. And people don't give it credit when in reality, that would be one of the best performing mints of all time, right? And that's kind of the insane thing about this at the moment right now. Yeah, you guys are excited about grapes at 17x, bro. 17x at these numbers? Yo, if you got in on this, this is like Gen Wealth. This is the closest thing to Gen Wealth in this market was Red Eyes, right? Like realistically, it's the closest thing to Gen Wealth this market's seen in a very long time, and it happened on ordinals, right? And again, still small supply. It's a different narrative. It's a different strategy, but it demands your attention, and that's really what I'd be focusing on if I were in this market as well. But I think the market's gotten really boring. I actually don't know of any interesting narratives right now happening on BTC. Like, I'm curious, Bruno, is there anything you're excited about yet on BTC at the moment right now? Like, honestly, I don't know. Yeah, exactly, right? It's it. I mean, I hope Ronin will be exciting. I think we're gonna have a little. I think this is actually our opportunity. Even BTC shrooms, I'm not even interested in because I know I'm not getting a BTC shroom because I'm not going to go spend 3 to 4 BTC to barely get one and then probably have it like decay on the floor. Like, you want to know what the craziest thing is? Look at which one is down the most. What's the Yuga Labs collection called? I already forgot. 24? No, what is it? 12 fold. That's what it is. Thank you, Bruno. See, that's why having Bruno here is huge. Yo, check out this. This thing minted, I think the clearing price was like 2.25 BTC. This thing's 50% down, right? That means the average person paid roughly like I don't know what BTC was at this price, but let's say 25K because this was a while ago. The average person paid like 50K for this or 60K for this, and they're down like 30K on it. Nuts. And this is Yuga's most, only asset on ordinals, right? And honestly, they don't even care about it. It was pure extraction. Like, if you want me to make a case of why why Yuga doesn't care about you, bro, like just check out this mint. They don't care at all about you. They don't. It's insane. It's pure cash extraction. They've done nothing about the art. Even if it's about the art, cool. Give me one interview with the artist. Give me one breakdown of this vision. Give me any belief that you're going to do more art in the future. You get none of that. Bro, like, this is so sad. So sad that Yuga is rugging y'all. Like, Yuga is straight up taking your ETH and BTC because they don't care. Thank God heavy metal, right? And thank God Legends of Mara weren't extractive, right? And that's the only reason why those aren't there. But yeah, look at these numbers. Bro, these top bidders paid 7 BTC. Bro, and they just got the same thing. Yo, I don't even know. What did the number one bidder even get? Was it even look more visually rare? Because I'll be honest, this art looks like garbage. Like, honestly, for generative art, this stuff looks so bad. Like, these rings look so bad. I can't believe. Look how similar these are. Look at this one here. This yellow, this blue, green, yellow, brown ring. And let me show you this one. This blue, green, yellow, brown ring. Like, you can't even tell the difference on some of these. Oh, you like these red beans? Let me show you. Oh, you want these red beans though instead. Oh, but they have a little bit smaller cashew beans down here. Get the fuck out of here. This is some garbage ass shit, right? And all the higher bidders got were lower numbers. Can you believe this? Get the fuck out of here. This is like, it is surprising that people don't shit on Yuga enough. Yuga has been one of the worst bad actors in this space, right? Since Other Side, right? Like, Other Side was a garbage mint, right? And not only was it overpriced and oversupply, but they made us lose $120 million in gas. Like, dude, that's awful. You're an awful participant in this market. And the hilarious part is Yuga comes out and says this snarky ass remark like, oh, this is the Ethereum network's fault. Ha 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 ha. Get the fuck out of here, right? These guys can't even sell tickets to their damn event at this point, right? Like, dude, it's honestly some amateur ass shit for a $4 billion company sitting on over $1 billion in cash. These are the guys we want to bet on? Oh my God. I mean, don't get me wrong, though, as much as I may dislike Yuga in these conversations here, I definitely hate, Pauly and Ryder Rips even more. Those guys are straight up garbage as well. And of course, we still funded Pauly's last shitcoin so he could have funds to fly out, probably on a first class plane to this stupid ass court case as well. Like, what are we doing? We are all awful. We all deserve this shit to go to zero. Right? It's funny because, like, I was talking about this earlier today, and we were just like, you know what? It wouldn't be the worst thing if this market goes to zero, right? We almost need to go back to it as well, right? On this front. I miss Ryan Carson. Damn, that's too strong of a stretch. I can't say that shit, man, at all. I do not miss Ryan Carson at all. But I get the sentiment, man, because at least Ryan didn't totally extract this market. He just extracted his LP investors on his awful fund. Oh man, I can't wait till he reports the 121G fund or whatever the fuck he called it, 121 gigawatt fund, whatever the fuck it was. But really what you're seeing here in this market is that this whole design and this whole structure, dude, don't call me the new Ryan Carson. This shit makes me sad when you say that. Damn, that's like the second meanest thing anyone's told me. Oh God, damn. On this front, but it is brutal, right? Like, this guy, and it's brutal because, again, all this is worse. Yeah, it's right. Being called Ryan Carson is slightly better than being called Trump. Trump was the worst thing anyone said to me. I definitely do not want to be the Trump of Web3. That has zero interest in my life. But, I bring all this up, right, because what you realize is that for the ordinal market to mature, we need to bring good product narrative. And ordinals are absolutely missing that. There's nothing interesting about ordinals, but we have this game changer technology. Someone needs to come out and put something out there. And this is exactly what I'm trying to do with Ronin. Ronan's going to introduce you guys to something really cool, really different, really fair. Diamonds already know a little bit of what we're going to do. We call it the Oath of Loyalty. It's going to be really cool. Where we're literally trying to build a design that's incredibly loyal and doesn't extract unnecessary capital from this market, right? It's going to be very different. It's still a pricier play, but we're going to make it cheaper than 99% of these high quality plays. And, we're putting the best art there. We're going to put real storytelling. Bro, I already got like a Japanese samurai and, some lineage of a Japanese samurai to do voice acting for this as well a little bit. It's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. We're going to do it both in English and Japanese. Ooh, the winners came out. Let's just check out the Village Market winners. Oh, congratulations. I love that diamond dude somehow. Crypto Panda, you already won one, but now you win 2 whitelists. I love that a few diamond guys still get the winners here as well, getting it for two relics. Wow, 184 entries. Y'all really wanted the ZTX optionality. I think it's just because the relics were so cheap, right? Like you can't pass on this as well too, right? Which is pretty interesting as well. Don't say the SBF of Web3. That's even worse. Oh God, kill me now. But congratulations, winners. Hopefully, we'll make sure make sure you've all added your wallets in the shopkeeper, right? Go into the shopkeeper, go in there and add all your wallets. I'm telling you, if you're smart, go click register wallet and then go add an ETH wallet, a Sol wallet, and a BTC wallet. If you know what you're doing, I'm telling you, there'll be nice little surprises that come for all of you as well. Make sure you add that here, and we're going to get more and more opportunities coming to you as well. Oh, the Hunter Biden at Web3. I'll take that over the Trump of Web3 for sure. I'd rather be the Hunter Biden of Web3 at this point. So, again, as you kind of start looking at it, right, our goal now is trying to design this market and trying to design for this market to really get this right? Try to build a new narrative on ordinals. I think ordinals is actually showcasing there's a little bit of real rare L. Oh man, you guys are making me laugh too much with these kind of memes and these hilarious phrases of who I am. But the thing that you want to look at ordinals here, right, really quickly here, is that in ordinals, I think the biggest opportunity is for someone to come in and actually introduce a narrative. I think OMB was doing that for a little bit. I think OXBT was doing that a little bit with Redacted and BitGod as well. But I think they both have lost the pulse. I think there's a new opportunity. I think OCM was doing it, but they're just really overstating the tech. We are collectors who want dope shit and dope art. We don't want to just hear about the tech. We really, really want to make sure that this whole opportunity is truly meeting the collector narrative, right? And this is kind of where we've lost it on ordinals. So when I go back to ordinals, I hope you understand why we think Ronin is such an interesting counterplay. It's because of OMB, but it also is because all these guys are underperforming. I mean, again, the Gods does not care about their BTC play. This was purely a cash extraction play for them. It was well done, don't get me wrong, right? But they're not doing anything. They took their 535 to Gods that were burned and brought them back here as well and made a lot of money. You're going to see Meme Land do it as well. They have their MVPs. They were playing that they're going to bring them over to BTC, but they won't do anything native for them. What you do need to do is you need to build a standalone project, not a project that you're bridging over, not a small piece of, hey, these are the reject ones we have. I hope you go buy them, right? Dead Jira did this with Project Gojira as well. They just bring them over exactly and they leave them. Why? Why are you doing this? No wonder this space sucks. We're not even growing this at all, right? And this is the other thing of why we're so focused is that we want to build something new, exciting, thoughtful, and complete, right? That's what this market needs. We're not trying to half-ass our shit into any of these market opportunities. But this is why I'm still excited about the ordinal market. the death of ordinals has been greatly exaggerated. These are clowns out there who don't understand what product market fit looks like and how it then the path to get to that as well. Ignore all that noise. It is true that ordinals is still struggling to find that pure fit and is struggling to find it across many projects, but there are some incredibly healthy signs. There's tons of inscriptions, there's tons of activity, there's tons of wallets, and there's tons of volume, especially in the first 3 months. This is insane. And this is kind of the reason why we still believe, and my favorite phrase is coming, the asymmetrical upside of Bitcoin, right? And what I mean asymmetrical upside is that we believe that by putting in a little bit of time into this, we believe that if the market conditions connect and all of the pieces fall into it as well, I think that, ordinals can see a 10x, 20x, 50x growth in this calendar year. I truly believe that. I don't know if that's going to be measured by just floor price, but I think it's going to be measured by volumes as well. And I think this is kind of why I'm really, really excited about what we're doing with Ronin too. And I'll show you a little teaser because I thought this was hilarious. Let me show you this. I'm going to show you a little teaser of another rare mask. It's not fully done, but you know what? I was like, all these guys are using, right, this these colors. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we brought over our own frog mask in Rodin? I thought that would be really cool. So it's not fully done. We have Pipo Geisha, right? Which is really cool. Like we were like, why not? Let's bring some Pepe Geisha up in this, right? And make it really fun for the BTC community. It'll be a really rare one. There's very few of them out there. But I just thought this would be awesome, right? Like I really do. I just thought it'd be really fun to kind of throw it in there. And that's just the purple one here. I'll show you like the normal green looking color. Again, it's gonna have fire eyes as well. It's just like, dude, this is dope. This is like the best Pepe art on on oh no. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong link. Give me a second. Hold on. Here we go. I was like, you know who really gave me this idea? It was honestly, shout out to Killam. Killam, I was just like, bro, this dude is killing it, right? On this as well. And I was like, yo, he created this amazing John Wick Pepe character with Tabula Rasa. I was just like, dude, this is actually dope. Like they would probably have a frog mask, right? In this, right? And and then imagine this guy with fire eyes. You'll see that added in here as well. And it's just so fun, right? We're having so much fun with our designs and our opportunities here. And that's the cool thing is that this will be like dope art. And like even now, what's really cool is that we did the backgrounds much lighter. So we kind of like washed them out. And it actually looks really cool now. I actually think we could do these detailed backgrounds now and they'll still look pretty cool. We're testing it out and we're probably going to build like a background, some background choices for users. Diamonds, you'll actually get to choose what you want for the backgrounds. We actually heard you loud and clear. We were initially thinking to mint these without a background, but we will mint them with the background and we'll let you choose which backgrounds that you want. We'll give you multiple options. And yeah, Ronin server will open up tomorrow as well, which will be really exciting. You guys will get first access to it, and then we'll open it up publicly as well, which is going to be really, really cool. So lots of fun stuff heading in. We have tons of masks in there. We got bear mask, lion mask, dragon mask. What else do we have? Snake mask. Looks like Venom. I'll show you. My favorite Venom mask is insane. I really love the Venom mask. What else do we have? I was playing around with a few things. Let me show you. Okay, hold on. I'll show you these ones later. I have so much art. That's why I love working with this team, man. We're just killers on this front. That's the lion mask. This is... Where's my snake mask? Yeah, there's my snake mask. There's my dragon mask. These ones always cheer me up. think these are all 340. No, they're all 680. Okay, let me grab the 680 by 680 ones. This is the dragon. What is this? Are these different? I don't even know. Maybe they're different. But like these are also really cool, and we'll make the Pepe mask have its own animated. And that's the cool thing, dude. These will be like fully animated on chain. These backgrounds are incorrect; they're too loud, so we'll change these out. But you could just see like they're really sick in terms of just the style. I love the weird snake tongue that we created on that Venom like mask. Like I really love the Venom mask. And I also love the crazy dragon, kind of his little dragon mustache, kind of doing the wave. Just kind of really fun on that front. So we're just having a lot of fun with these designs. Do the sound effect. I forget what it was, but yeah, we're having a lot of fun here as well. So this is going to be pretty cool in kind of all these designs and all these opportunities. So we have a lot of stuff coming, and this is just this is just the art. And when you'll see the rest of this world, when you see the rest of this world build out, you'll see some really cool stuff. And man, the pixel art of the dojos are ridiculous. Like the initial dojo is amazing. I'm going to show you this here as well. Give me just a second. Where's the dojo? The inside of here, I'll show you the Japanese Tree of Life. This one's one of my favorite ones as well. This is, so the Tree of Life is already in the Lost Realms world. So I think we've shared this before, but you'll also see the Tree of Life in different color in Japan as well. And this is one of the areas where they combat. And this is just like beautiful pixel art. Just insanely crazy pixel art here as well, which is great. Dude, I am definitely going to milk that win from Grapes, y'all. Y'all going to realize, again, remember, I'm still going to say it. If we max minted our allocation, we had almost 22% of Grapes allocation to this community alone, right? Which is nuts. We could do some really cool stuff. Yeah, you guys could use any of this art for whatever you want. That's the cool thing. And we'll create some cool wallpaper art, phone wallpaper art, and all that stuff later as well. But that's how just talented this team is. So, hopefully you'll see all this kind of fun stuff and all this kind of fun design. We are really excited about these pieces coming together. So, guys, with that, I'm going to let you guys all go. But before we do that, let me set up a relic here for you guys. Give me 1 second and I'll set this up. For some reason, my good old Discord is being sluggish. This is ETH and Ordinal Market. I'll just call it that. Save changes. Cool. There we go. Oh, I could stop screen sharing as well. You don't need to see that. Perfect. Okay, let's head to the secret chamber. ETH and Ordinal Market will be the name of this one. I'll give you guys 33 seconds. All right, make sure you're in the secret chamber. The password is 07432. Again, the password is 07432. Make sure you use the /secret function first, right? You need to do that in order to get it. If you do that correctly, you can then add in the number in the etching box, 07432. Add that in. You should be able to get that nice, juicy relic. Again, the raffle system will be back next week fully. We'll have more fun raffles. We might do a few during these live events here as well. And that's kind of the nice little thing here is that we're going to give you so much more opportunity too. There'll be more auctions coming. Lots of stuff coming. We're getting more inventory. We're going to find you some good inventory. I'm even going to give you guys a couple of our team supplies for Weebox and Jungle as well. And then, if you want more ZTX, I'll give you more ZTX on this Friday. But we have a couple new projects that we're working on to secure aloe. These are like small supply, like either like 3,000, 1,000, and sub 500 supply ones that are coming. So we're working on that. And then Ronin will start hitting the marketplace probably in the next week or so once we kind of confirm the mint price here. And then we're working on a lot of other cool stuff, so it's going to be pretty nice. So we'll have some fun here. All right, guys, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you so much. We had over 400 people here joining in and talking about the market. Again, I do want you guys to take away from this here as well in this design is a couple things. One is ETH market